following show is a paid program.
Hey family, how you doing today? We got the best of the best with us. We've got Mr. Floy Johnson, sports promoter, 30-year career. Man, I'm telling you guys, when you hear this story and you hear this friend of mine, you are going to be amazed. What is going on? 30 years.
Yes, sir. 30 years.
I cannot believe it.
Actually, 36 years, Cam.
It's 36 years.
36 years. Yes,
you just 40. I mean, what is this?
That's what everybody think. But I'm starting to try to let my gray hair grow, and I'm trying to be gray so people think I'm older.
Absolutely.
You know, I have a lot of young people who say, "Oh, you ain't been doing this for 36 years." I'm like, "Yes,
There's
I have."
no way.
Yes,
no way. 36 years.
Yes, I have. Yes.
How in the world did you get into this career?
Man, I started with a guy that you may know, the youngsters may not know him, a guy named Moses Malone.
Yes.
The first guy straight out of high school into the pros.
Yeah.
He came to the Houston Rockets in 1974. I was in the 8th grade. Mm-hmm. The funny story, and I spoke about this at his funeral 5 years ago. I was one of the power barons. So I told the story of how Moses came to town. He rode the plane with my favorite teacher, which I was her favorite student. But it was my worst subject, science.
Right.
I was making D's and F's in science. So Moses tried to get a date with her. So she said, I tell you what, since you the young phenom and you Moses Malone and blah, blah, he was all in ESPN and all this and that. So I tell you what, I'll go out on a date with you if you talk to this young kid named Floy Johnson and get him to do better in school and study and blah, blah, blah. So bottom line, I met him down the Fun Day Recreation Center, the famous gym downtown Houston. And I was like, I was like, that's Moses Malone.
Right.
I'm 14 years old, though.
Right.
I'm like looking at Moses Malone at 14 years old. So come, fast forward, I became his boy. People started calling me Lil Mo for years. I told that story at his funeral. I used to hate being called Little Mo, but I see Dr. J, what's up, Lil Mo? I see Isaiah Thomas, what's up, Floyd? Lil Mo. Magic Johnson, Floyd, Lil Mo, what's up? Me and Michael Jordan hung out several times, and all them guys joke with me and call me Little Mo, right. Iceman, all them superstars back in the day. But It was funny because I didn't understand where that was going at the time. I laughed with a few guys about a couple of years ago. I used to have everybody tennis shoes when I was young. All the players would leave me their tennis shoes. Do you know if I would have kept all them tennis shoes, they would be worth $1 million these days? Magic Johnson, Iceman, Isaiah Thomas, Darryl Dawkins, who just died. Yeah. So it's just crazy. But like I say, growing up with Moses and seeing the world, traveling everywhere, it opened my life up to sports.
Right.
And then I went to University of Houston, and Moses told me to go there so he could come hang out with me. And because of that, it's another famous athlete that used to want to catch a ride with me every day from University of Houston named Akeem Olajuwon. I laugh because a few people back in the day say, man, I remember Akeem used to ride with you from U of H to Fun Day 3 times a week. I say, yeah, because he didn't have a car when he first got here.
Right.
So I gave him a ride, and he learned all Moses moves back in the day because Moses taught him what he knew, how the dream shake and all that stuff. So he became Akeem Olajuwon, Hall of Famer now.
Right.
But it's a lot of stuff, history at Fun Day Recreation Center back in, downtown Houston back in the day. And we used to have fun hooping and all this. And so bottom line, that's how me and Moses met. I was a good basketball, football player, but I was making D's and F's. So Moses tucked me under his wing.
Yeah.
And my grades turned around to A's and B's.
Yeah.
Because I got that inspiration of looking up to him and seeing this is Moses Malone, the first guy straight out of high school then, the first guy to make $1 million with Nike, the first guy to make $1 million in any sport.
Right.
I win bets on that all the time. Like, I say, my guy, Moses Malone. Mm-hmm. No, he wasn't Moses Malone. Then look it up. Man, Moses did make $1 million with Nike. Mm-hmm. Moses did. Yeah, he made 2 when he left the Rockets in 1980 when they went to the championship and lost to the Boston Celtics, Larry Bird and them. That 81 year he went to Philadelphia 76ers. They paid him $2.3 million a year for 6 years. That was $2.3 million. No other player. Dr. J was making $600,000. All them guys were making $600,000, $500,000, $800,000. Moses was making $2.3 million a year.
And that's pivotal, what you just said, to now.
Yes.
To looking at LeBron, to looking at, you know what I'm saying? To looking at all the different ones that are out there. You know, when Kobe was out, you know, Shaquille O'Neal, looking at their contracts now, and to know the difference, as you were saying, Moses Malone. He was the first one to make $1 million.
He told me a story one time.
$1 million.
Cam,
just think of this, $1 million.
He made 2.3.
2.3, but look at LeBron's contract now.
These guys, you know when Moses told me a story? This is years ago. I don't know, probably 19 years ago after he had retired, and he went back and coached for the Sixers.
Right.
He called me, say, my name is Big Daddy. He gave me the name, say, Big Daddy. They got me coaching the centers and the big guys. Do you know the starting center is averaging 9 to 10 points a game. The backup center averaging 7 points a game. Their stats together is 18 points a game. My average was 28 points a game. And now these guys making $11 million a year. This other guy making $6 million a year. I made 2.3 for my whole career. So we laughed at how the money back then was here, but the money right here. And them guys, you could put all three of the centers together, and they still couldn't be what he was.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So it's just funny. That's why I tell these youngsters these days, work hard because the money is so much greater these days than it was back in the day.
And save.
And, oh my God.
And save.
A lot of these guys don't know where. And I tell people, me and my business partner Samara Smith, we were just talking about this the other day, and I tell people that all the time. I don't want to say no names, but 80% of athletes are broke 5 years after they played because I'm going to tell you, one of my good friends, I saw his check. He made $236,000 a week.
A week?
A week. But you only get paid during football season that's for 17 weeks.
Right.
From game 1 to game 17.
Mm-hmm.
After the season over, you're technically unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got 200 and something thousand a week, you got to manage that money throughout the rest of the year.
Right.
So bottom line is, that's what people don't understand. When you're making, like these guys these days, if they making $1.9 million a week, that's crazy money.
Right.
They should be able to live off that. The money these guys make, I used to joke with some of my ball players, the money y'all made then, you can feed your whole family. The money these guys make, you can feed the whole community.
It's true.
I mean, it's crazy.
It's true.
And how can these guys do crazy stuff and lose money?
And it is so apparent when COVID hit. February, the end of February, beginning of March. Remember that time? Shut the world down.
Yeah.
Wherever you were.
Yes.
So NBA was gone, NFL gone, just everybody stopped, right?
Yes.
People were suffering that were millionaires at the time. They were suffering. They were trying to sell cars, trying to sell their homes, trying to refinance things, trying to put things on. And they were, like you said, $200,000 a week at that time, shut down completely.
But the thing about it, Cam, is these guys, it's a different generation, and that comes back kind of to what I'm doing now with this Heisman Trophy weekend. You know, back in the day, you know, I laugh because these guys call me the OG of promotions, and Floy, you the OG, and you the first to do this. You know, people always remind me, man, I remember when you did the Cancun Jazz Festival. You know, you had over 690,000 people in Cancun, Mexico. I'm like, yeah, you know, but I wasn't really the brains behind it. I was one of the promoters. It was me and a little guy named Sean Puff Daddy Combs. I say little guy, but everybody know Puff Daddy pretty big. But Puff Daddy did all the music and the concerts. I did the sporting events. I had Moses Malone, Robert Ory, Sam Cassell, Nick Van Exel, Michael Finley, all these basketball. Then I had Eddie George, the late, great Steve McNair. Bless his heart, he's one of the greatest guys out. And can I come tell you a little quick story about Steve McNair. Steve McNair was a superstar quarterback, right? With the Oilers and the Tennessee Titans.
Right.
We in Cancun, Mexico, we hanging out. Steve McNair want to get a guy's credit card to pay for everybody's meal. I'm like, Mac, I'm the promoter. I'm supposed to do that, not you. So one night we in the bar at night, Mac buys 36 bottles of Moet, put it on his credit card, and say, Floyd, this is for you. I appreciate what you do for me. Mac, I appreciate you, what you
Right.
do for me.
Right.
So I laugh at this guy, how his personality, but Mac was from Mississippi, country guy. He wasn't one of these arrogant, big city guys. He was real down there where he was so humble. He was such a nice guy. But Mac used to do that and say, Floyd, give all the guys a ball, and that's from you. I say, no, Mac, that's from you. He said, I appreciate you, Floyd. I said, no, Mac, I appreciate you because you Steve McNair, the star quarterback, but he don't act like that.
Right.
That's the thing, and it goes back to these Heisman players. That's what I love about what we got coming up.
Right.
These guys are Heisman Trophy winners, and they on top of the world. And I tell people all the time, Heisman Trophy winner. I say, yeah, Heisman Trophy winner is like the president. You only have one president every year.
Right.
You only got one Heisman Trophy winner. He's the best of the best.
Of the best. Of the best. What I love about you, Floyd, I mean, man, collaboration and unity. You truly, truly embody that. You believe in that. You believe in us as a people coming together all the time, no matter what. I'm glad you mentioned about the Cancun trip, about the event that you put together, and just understanding the magnitude of that.
Let me tell you the story behind it real quick. The story was a guy named Alan Sorter. He's a promoter out of Miami. In 1993, he flew to Houston and came and talked to me, and he said, Floyd Johnson, I've been watching you for 2 years. You never know who's watching you. He's been watching me for 2 years. He said, man, all these NFL and NBA players follow you or whatever all over the country doing these events with you. You have a contract with these guys? I said, no, they're just my boys. He said, you get these guys to do this for you? Because I said, yeah, because it's like we're like a fraternity, like the Heisman guys. We do stuff to help each other.
Right.
So he said, well, I'll tell you what. This in 1993. He said, I'll tell you what, I got a contract with the Cancun government to do the Cancun Jazz Festival from 94 next year to 2000 for 6 years.
The Cancun government.
The Cancun government. He had a contract with the whole government.
Yeah.
So this the party blew mine. I'm young. I'm a young promoter. And, he said, well, look, I want you to bring me 25 NFL and NBA players to Cancun, and I'm going to pay whatever your fee is. I got a guy to New York called Sean Puff Daddy Combs that's going to do all the music stuff and do the concerts and this and that. So you're going to be the sports promoter. He's going to be the music promoter. I looked at this guy and said, man, you're a sharp guy.
Right.
Alan, you got me the best in sports. You got Puff Daddy the best in music. You brought us together. Now Cancun started out at 364,000. Up to 2000, it grew up to 698,000 people.
From everywhere, all over the
world. From all over the country, all over the world. People came to Cancun for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And that was the best time. And people still remind me of that. Man, that was a good time. I said, yeah. Matter of fact, my major supporter, J.D. Mitchell, I met him. He came to Cancun back in the day. And he's a big-time CBD business, and he's my major sponsor. But he's one of the guys that came over there, and that's how we met. And he was like, Floyd, man, you used to do some great things. That's how we teamed up. He said, man, we need to get some of that stuff going again.
Exactly.
My business partner, Samara Smith, she told me that. She said, Floyd, we need to make this Heisman weekend something that nobody's ever seen before. So, with great people like that on your team, you can't lose.
Same mindset.
Oh, man. I tell people all the time, when Samara and me, it's like beauty and the brains. Now I'm gonna tell you a little secret. She the brains. I'm the beauty.
Wait one minute.
Even though she's a beautiful woman,
Samara, I just say, hey,
Samara,
love you.
but she know we joke like that.
Yeah,
Samara. But Samara, she's out that way. But Samara. And I tell people all the time, I know how to do this, but Samara fine-tunes everything. She know how to put it all together. And I tell people, when people are like, what is a promoter? I say, I take all the pieces of the puzzle, put it together, and make it a beautiful picture.
And let's go back to that. That's the question I want to make sure people know about. What is the job of the promoter? Let me say this. Because when the promoter comes out, we want you to make you the manager, the sales team, the publicist.
All this, no. You know what I tell guys all the time, and I've had so many guys come to me, I say, look, I hate when guys say, man, can you help my cousin get in the league? Can you help my son? Can you help my...
Right.
No, he got to get in the league on his own. Once he get in the league, I can take him and put him in the community and I can take his name and blow it up and make it much bigger than what it is. I can put like Mike Rozier. Mike Rozier, I don't need to blow him up, but what I'm doing with Mike played here in Houston for the Oilers back in the day. Mike Rozier started my career. Moses Malone started me. As far as me hanging out with him, I met Michael through Moses. We used to hang out, and Mike Rozier, the funny story behind me and him, is one day we hanging out and Mike say, Floyd, come over to the Oilers facility. I got a bunch of Oilers stuff I don't wear. I'm like, you gonna give me all your hats and sweatsuits and t-shirts? I'm like, yeah. So this Mike Rozier, Heisman Trophy winner. And we all young too. I'm like, all right, Mike. So I go over there and I tell you, I done told this story 20,000 times. You know, people say, how did you become a big promoter? I say, Mike Rozier in 1985 told me to be his promoter. He said, man, Moses Malone is your boy. I'm the star running back for the Houston Oilers, Heisman Trophy winner. Just represent us. And I tell people all the time, this is the funny thing. This is why I tell kids, never give up. Never give up. 3 years I put on a suit and tie, went around with a piece of paper, said I represent Moses Malone, star, center, blah, 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 NBA superstar, Mike Rozier, Heisman Trophy winner, running back, Houston. Didn't get nothing going until Foot Locker and Champs gave me my break back in the day. So they gave me a break, and they say, you can get all the Houston Oilers players? I said, yeah. So I got all the Houston Oilers players and started doing autograph signings at all their stores around Houston. That led to Dallas, San Antonio. So I had all of Texas. So I started doing players' appearances in all the stores around the country. So that blew me up. Then I started doing the celebrity basketball games because all NFL players think they can hoop. I used to think I can hoop. I used to be, oh, man, I can shake. But that's what we do. We like to have fun.
Right.
So,
and compete.
We're competitive.
Very competitive.
So that's one of the things, and I tell people all the time, like Scarface is one of my good friends, and Powwow and all these guys. But all the NFL players like, man, you got Scarface to play in the celebrity game? You got Powwow, you got this Slim Thug come, you got all this. I say, yeah, but they didn't know I played them against each other. Right. I would tell the rappers, I got Terrell Owens, Bobby Taylor, Chris Dishman, Ray Crockett, Super Bowl. I got this guy, that guy, Steve McNair, Donovan McNair. Oh, you got him? So I go to the NFL players, hey, we got Paul, we got this. So now the players, so that's my little trick I used to use back in the day. I would play them against each other. I would tell them, well, I got this guy. So now he want to come hang out with him. He want to come hang. So everybody was like, it was like a chain.
Right.
So that was my little trick of how I did events. And then, like you said, it was a camaraderie thing. I used to tell people all the time, because a lot of people say, why you do the games at TSU and Black? I say, because first of all, I'm from the hood.
Right.
I never forget where I came from.
Yeah.
I like to help the kids in the community that can't afford to go to the game and pay them $75. You know what I tell them? My line would be, at my celebrity basketball game, you can come there for $5, a little $5 ticket, meet the player, take a picture with him, and get an autograph. See if you can go to a Texans game these days and meet a player, get on the field, talk to him, and nothing. You can't.
You can't get on the parking lot.
You can't get on the parking lot for $5.
It's $20 to $30 to get on the parking lot.
$50.
$50.
Some VIP is $75
to park.
So I tell people, because it's a lot of people back in the day, they used to do the celebrity basketball. I say, yeah, because I wanted to bring the NFL players to the community.
That's it.
So the kids in the Black community. And my funny story about that is this one young man. He played at I think in Clear Lake or somewhere, but he used to come to my events as a kid. He went to college, played football, got a scholarship, and went to the pros, and then started playing for the Atlanta Falcons. Then came back to me and said, Floyd, I used to be one of them kids getting your autographs. Now I can be one of the players in your celebrity game.
Wow.
I almost started crying. I say, wow, you was one. He said, Floyd, you gave me a lot of inspiration, you never 9 years ago.
You never know.
I was getting autographs. Now I'm one of the celebrities giving autographs at your game. Wow. But I tell people, you never know how you can change people's lives. You never know what you could do. Another story I love is at TSU one day, a young man, he's dressing. I'm going to make this real quick. He's dressing. He's got on a suit. He's taking it off. He said, man, you Floyd Johnson, with a straight face. And it kind of scared me. I'm like, man, did I date your woman or your wife? Well, it kind of like, okay. Then the other part that was funny, he say, can I give you a hug?
Oh, no.
I'm like, dude, we in the locker room getting dressed, me and you. And he cocked diesel.
Yeah.
But he say, no, Floyd, let me tell you why. Man, 14 years ago, I was a kid. I came to your game here at TSU. I'm in law school now. He got a suit in town. I'm in law school now. You gave my mom a pair of tennis shoes for me and my sister, because Nike used to sponsor me.
Right.
You gave my mom a pair of tennis shoes for me and my sister, and you gave her a $100 gift card for me and my sister. My mom was a single parent. She couldn't afford to buy clothes. You made my year. Wow. I'll never forget you, bro. I said, oh, bro, give me a hug. I started laughing. I said, boy, give me a hug. So I laugh because I tell people, you never know some of them stories that you touch people's life. You don't remember.
You don't know.
You don't remember. You don't know what you've done. That's why I tell people, you never know who's watching you.
That's true.
You never know who life you're touching. So that's why me and Samara, I'm going to go back to Samara Smith, my business partner.
And
one of the
Samara
reasons-
is beautiful now. No,
Oh,
no,
she's a
that-
beautiful woman. Like, I laugh all the time. You know, I have to remind all my ball players she's a married woman now.
There you go.
Even though she's beautiful, she's a married woman now. But I laugh with her because years ago I say, Samara, you running yourself crazy. You going all over the world taking all these kids and this and that. But let me remind you, her oldest son playing the NFL right now, Tennessee Titans. Her youngest son is Anaya Smith, the running back for A&M, number 0, the one that had touchdown every game.
Right.
That's finna go in the NFL next year as a junior. So I tell people all the time, you never know people's stories, but
don't.
you know what she told me one day? And I had to bag up and I said, you know what, I'm wrong. Because I was getting on her about running and traveling and trying to help all these kids. She say, Floyd, my kids are blessed. I got to help these other kids that don't have the opportunities that my kids
Right.
have. I want to help bless these other kids to help them get scholarships. So that kind of go back to what we do in this event for, Cam.
Right.
It's like their organization helps so many kids, tutor them,
Right.
help them with their grades, help them, help them sing. She take them to different camps so they can get noticed. It's so much that she do that I tell people all the time, man, I was wrong. I raised my hand, I was wrong. I shouldn't have told you quit running yourself. You blessing all these other kids
Yeah.
like your sons are blessed.
Yeah.
So I tell people all the time, it's a full circle that we have to come to sometime. We have to
Right.
look at what are we doing this for? You know,
That's our assignment.
what are we doing this
Yeah.
for?
Yeah.
You know, what are we doing? A lot of people, and I hate this, and I'm not going to say all people, a lot of people in life are selfish. It's about
Yes.
them.
Yes. What does it
and-
mean to me, or what are you doing for me?
And that's the part that I hate about some people. It's a team thing.
Yeah.
That's why I get mad at some people. I played sports my whole life.
Yeah.
Other than playing sports, this is all I've done is
Yeah.
a promoter. So I know team more than anything.
Right.
It's never I. It's like we. What can we do to win?
And it's enough for everyone.
Everyone.
It's enough.
Everyone. That's what my major sponsor, JD came to me with. He said, Floyd, this business, it's enough for everybody.
Everyone.
It's
Everyone.
enough for everybody. And I love that brother for coming in, sponsoring me,
Right.
and making this weekend happen, because I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for Samara Smith and JD Mitchell, Floyd would be sitting back like, ooh, I got to wait till next year to do my event.
Yeah.
But because of them two,
Yeah.
we're going to have a great event this year.
Absolutely.
It's going to be beautiful.
Absolutely.
And I laugh because I just talked to Hall of Famer Rod Woodson, Pittsburgh Steelers,
Yes.
Oakland Raiders, Baltimore Ravens. He got Super Bowls with different teams. But we was talking the other day, and he said, Floyd, I can't wait to get to Houston because, I want to talk to Samara about some stuff he's doing. I want to talk to JD about what he's doing. I want to talk to... So I tell people all the time, one thing about my events, it's where we come together and
Right.
collaborate
That's
on
true.
other things that we can
That's
get
true.
done.
Every one of your events are like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just about that one thing coming there for that event.
Yeah.
You always have so many other people collaborating, uniting, talking, becoming friends, from every event that you've had.
And Cam, that's the beauty of it. It's like, me meeting you,
Right.
come to find out we're like-minded.
Yeah.
You're a go-getter, I'm a go-getter.
Right.
But my thing is, how can we go get some other stuff? How
Yes,
can we
absolutely.
come together and collaborate on what else we can do? And I tell people all the time, you never know what God put in front of you
Right.
until you open your eyes and see it and say,
Right.
oh man, this is a blessing. That's why I had to open my eyes with Samara. I used to get on her about running so much, but I found out she was blessing other kids.
Right.
She was helping other parents that couldn't do these things for kids. So I had to stop and say, I'm wrong. Keep doing what you're doing
Right.
because you're helping change some other kids' lives.
Uh-huh.
And she pointed out, she said,
Right.
Floyd, I used to do the same thing. And I had to think about it. I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
you're right.
Yes.
I did used to do these celebrity games to help kids, to
Right.
do this for the community. So I had to think about, yeah, you're right. Sometimes, but it's never, I tell people all the time, and this goes back to, I was at the cigar bar about 3 months ago, and God said, man, you used to do a lot in the community, Floyd. You did it. I said, yeah. And this one guy said, man, I said, well, that's the thing about life. You're doing something right when other people talk about what you do.
Right. And remember.
And other people remember what you did.
Exactly.
And that's one thing I tell people all the time. It's a true thing in life if other people bring up what you did instead of you have to. Well, man, this is what I did. This is what, no. Let other people talk about what you did.
But see, Floyd, what's so great about you, you've always done it for other people. You never did it for yourself.
Well, that's what life's supposed to be.
Never.
I'm the youngest of 8 kids.
Yeah.
I had a big family, so from a big family, it's a team.
Yeah. You never. As long as you've never.
Yeah.
Never. Always, it's always been for others. And that's why people love you so much, because you've always done for others. And they knew it from the heart.
Yeah.
That you did it for that.
Well, my thing, Cam, and I tell people all the time, it's like, and I had to learn too from Samara. I listen to her when she say, when you do things for people, you're going to get your blessings.
You do. Immediately, she's right.
I used to try to save the world with loaning everybody money and this and that, but I found that's another way to do it.
Yes.
We could do favors for people, and it ain't got to be money all the time.
Right.
It could be things. Let me help you with, just like Samara. She go to all these camps and take these kids, it's like, they get opportunities to be seen.
Yes.
So when you are seen, you have opportunities.
And experience it.
And you get that experience.
They get to experience.
That they wouldn't have.
Exactly.
So that's the big picture. I tell people all the time. It's a big picture in what we're doing.
Right.
A lot of people think like, oh, man, like I was just telling you a while ago before we came on. I hate when people say, man, you used to throw the biggest parties. I used to remember 4,000 people at your party. I remember. I say, but do you remember the stuff we did for the 400 kids to help them with school supplies and help them, do this and help their backpacks and T-shirts and gift cards? No, man, but your party's off the chain. I say, but you don't remember the stuff we did for the kids to help them. It's a bigger picture than the parties. It's the event.
Right.
It's the whole event.
Right.
You can't bake a cake with 2 or 3 ingredients. You got to have all the ingredients.
Absolutely.
So that's what this is. It's a cake.
It's a cake. It's a cake. I'm telling you one thing. You have done so much over this time period. Just looking back and looking at entertainment and the business side.
Yeah.
So many people have lost out on the business side. Right?
Yeah.
But they understand how to maybe promote or something like that. Let's talk to some of them about the fact they've lost that.
Yeah.
They lose a lot in that. They really, really do.
That's Cam, you just made a good point, because I don't like talking about that much, because I had a guy years ago that I went to school. His dad was a few years older than me. We went to the same school, but he was a young promoter, and he came to me and say, Floyd, my dad told me if I need to learn from you, because you're the best, blah, blah, blah. And I say, no, it's a lot of people. He said, no, Floyd, they not like you. I said, what do you mean? Then he told me about a couple of young guys that I started in the game, and he said, man, I did this, and he did this wrong, and he did this, he was shysty. So I thought all promoters were shysty, and it kind of hurt me, because I'm like, no, promoters, we're supposed to help you and build, like with my athletes, I build their brand.
Right.
Like I tell people all the time, back at the radio station back in the day, where Million White, I started my career, several people used to always, when I bring young players in to do events, and they would always make comments like, Floyd, we don't know who this guy is, but we know you the promoter. Why don't you put your name? I said, no, because if I put his name up there and put my name next to it, I help build his brand.
Right.
And that's what it's about. It's about building people's brands. It's not about what you got.
Right.
And that's the part I used to always like. Why do people think it's about me? It's not about me. It's about me. I got to build him, because I had several people at the radio station back in the day say, nobody knows him, but everybody know you. I said, no, but that's why I'm doing it for him, because when I push him up and take my brand and push him up, it makes his name. It makes him start doing things in the community. It makes him start being more aware of things in the community. That's why we do this.
Right.
We do these things to help people.
Okay. We'll be right back on the Cam Hill Show.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages. The Cam Hill Show. If you'd like to advertise your business or become a sponsor, contact the Cam Hill Show at gmail.com.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month. Both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 1.9% APR for 60 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter Cadillac.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy, because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, family, we got Floy Johnson with us. We're going to go into talking about this event that he will have. My God, you've got to look at it. The topic today is HCL Reach Foundation. Let's talk about the foundation.
Oh man, that's the Myra Smith Foundation. She, her and her husband do a great job.
Yeah.
Like I say, and they're not far from here out in Missouri, but they do a great job of helping kids that, like I was telling you in the first segment, that don't have scholarship offers.
Right.
They don't have good grades. They do a lot for kids in the community. Take them to camps in Oklahoma, Dallas, Kansas City, Atlanta. They take them all over the country to help them out.
Right.
And then they have a tutoring program that tutors these kids to help them get their grades up.
Right.
So they do so much for the kids. And that's why I say I'm amazed sometimes when I be telling somebody, wow, y'all are truly blessed.
Right.
But that's the thing, because a lot of people don't know it takes a lot to do what they do.
It takes a village.
Oh man, and her husband, he trains these kids. He's got, I don't know how many kids in the NFL right now.
Wow.
Like the guy that just got drafted in the first round, from I think it's Waddle, Wiley or Waddle. He's Alabama. That's
Right.
one of their kids.
Yeah.
Right here at that program. So her son is in the NFL. Her got another son that's finna going. So they do so much for kids to help them get scholarships. They have a tutoring program and a workout program facility.
Right.
So her husband works them out on the field and in the weight room. Her classroom and they tutor them and get their grades right and help them to pick them up in areas they weak in. So it's like a 2-stage program that they help them out. Then they take these same kids and travel them to get them noticed and get them seen by colleges.
Wow.
So it's a lot that they do that a lot of people don't understand how big it is and how great it is from what they do. I commend her, because like I say, she run a lot and she have a lot on her plate, but it kind of like I tell people all the time about me as a promoter. She take all these pieces of the puzzle and put it together and make it a beautiful picture. Because when you got this kid just got drafted, the 5th or 6th player in the whole draft that was in your program, you could sit back and say, yes, I helped that. I'm a part of that. I helped that kid get to that point. So it's a lot.
And I love what you're saying there, because it's great players out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
One in so many will be drafted.
Yep.
One in so many will change. That family's life immediately changes.
Yep.
Once they're drafted.
Yep. Especially these days.
Yes.
Like these kids go from being a kid like us out the hood to being a millionaire once that team draft you. Because once they draft you, they got your rights. And when you sign that piece of paper, you get a thing called a signing bonus. That signing bonus these days can be like enough to feed your family for the next 20 years. It could be like 30 million, 20 million, a signing bonus.
Right.
A lot of people don't make that their whole life.
Right.
But you
We'll
got
never
that.
make that.
You got that for your first signing bonus.
Right.
Just to start your
And
career.
young.
Young.
Look how young they are with that kind of money.
That's why I say that's why, like I say, I commend her all the time, because you change these kids' lives, because what you and your husband do to train them and get them ready to be on that stage. You know, and with all that without that training and all that, a lot of kids, like me and a couple of athletes, I ain't gonna say no names, a couple of big name athletes, we used to always talk. They said, Floy, you don't know how many athletes that didn't make it that was way better than me.
Right.
They say, they had nobody to help them. They had no training. They had nobody to push them. They didn't have no support system at home. You know, so it's support. It's called a support system.
Right.
And that's what her program has, that support system that help these kids get from A, B, C, all the way to Z.
And I love the fact, even though her organization that she has, once they get in, she also educates them and the family of how to keep the money.
Oh yeah, she do a lot for these kids.
How to keep their money, because that's where they lose. A lot of young people lose money because of the fact if you've never had it, you don't know how to keep it or manage it, let's say.
Exactly.
Manage the money.
It's managing it. Because I laugh because the money these kids make these days.
Yes.
J.J. Watt, perfect example. J.J.
Exactly.
Watt never spent his check, even though he's making millions and 20-something, 30, almost 30 million a year. He never spent that money. That money went into the bank to invest. He used his endorsement money off of different shoe contract, Nike, this and that, tie contract, whatever your endorsements
Right.
to live off. The endorsements, I laughed some years ago, I put on a celebrity basketball game for the coach of the Rockets, John Lucas. Mm-hmm. And it was called a lockout game that I put on for John. Derrick Rose was a young player.
Yes.
He's a star right now with the New York Knicks, but Derrick Rose was a young player of Chicago. He came in.
For the Bulls, yeah.
Yeah, for the Bulls. So Derrick Rose, we talking, and he's like, man, I'm gonna send some shoes down here for the kids. And I said, how many pay? He said, man, I'll send 200 and whatever. And we got that. He's a good guy. Derrick Rose, real good guy. And I say, 200 pay? I say, man, how can you? He say, Floyd, I have a $200 million contract. I say, $200 million to wear Adidas, a shoe? So stuff like that, you'd be like, these kids, your shoe contract is paying you $200 million, but your regular contract is $80 million.
Yeah.
So you don't have to use your regular contract.
Right.
You can use your endorsement money. You got companies that are paying guys to do commercial, like HEB.
Yes.
They paying some of these Houston Texans players probably a couple of million to do a contract. You can live off that couple of million that year.
Just to do the commercials.
Commercials.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell these kids, you don't know the money is out there. But the biggest thing, and I'm going to say this here because Samara will be mad at me if I don't say that, get that education.
Yes.
Get that education.
Yeah.
Because one of my jokes I tell people all the time, I don't have a degree. Mm-hmm. Like corporate people, when I go in the office, they was like, Floyd, what is your degree? Is it marketing or sales or what? I said, I don't have a degree. How, Floyd, you have a degree? What is your degree? How you work with all these big time athletes? I said, I don't have a degree.
Right.
I have a street degree and a lucky degree. Everybody's not gonna have a Moses Malone to take their name, or Mike Rozier to say be my promoter,
right.
Or Chris Dishman, star cornerback for Houston Oilers, to say, hey, you my best friend. Mm-hmm. Let us help you. So I was one in 5 million. Right. LeBron James did that with his guys. His best friends, 5 of them, they got an agency. They started a sports agency.
Right.
So you don't have a lot of athletes that's going to help you start your own business like I did.
Yes.
So got to have that degree.
Got to have that degree.
I tell them young kids, get that degree, get that paper.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Samara's son. Samara's son, his name is Maurice Smith. He played Alabama 3 years, got his degree in 3 years. 3 years. His last year, he had one more year to play. He left and went to Georgia. But it was a big old thing. Nick Saban didn't want him to leave, but he left and went to Georgia and played his last year. He'd already graduated. He got his degree. You can't take that from him. Mm-hmm. I tell people all the time, when you get that piece of paper, you can't take that from him.
You can't. You can't take that from him.
And that's why, like right now, I have this joke I always tell people, don't do what I did, do what I tell you. I was lucky.
Yeah.
I had a Moses Malone and a Mike Rozier and a Chris. I had 3 great athletes to help take me and put me in that in great positions. Mm-hmm. But I was smart enough to know how to use what they put me to make it better. Mm-hmm. So I tell people all the time, and it jokes me and Smart is joking. I tell a few people, I'm a naturally quiet person. Sports brought the talking out of me. Mm-hmm. My lifestyle brought the talking out, because a lot of times I'm set up and I'm quiet and people are like, what's wrong? I say nothing. It's just how I am. Mm-hmm. But you quiet. I said, that's the natural flow, is quiet. When I have something to talk about, I talk. Mm-hmm. Sports is something to talk about.
Right.
What we do in this event is something to talk about. It goes back to so many things we're bringing that weekend and so many great players that I laughed because when I did this 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, all the Heisman guys say, Floyd, we never get together this many of us in one place.
Right.
So I knew I had something then, because the only time you see more than 2 to 4 Heisman guys in one place is at the Heisman in New York when they're giving the Heisman Trophy.
Right.
Now, all of them are there.
Right.
But when you got 10 or 15 of them in one place,
Now let's fly, and let's see those flyers. Let's start off. Let's see the first one. Let's see it. Okay, let's talk about this one. Just stay at this one real quick. And let's talk about it. This is from June the 2nd through the 5th.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, and let's just go down a list about a few of the things that we're going to do. We're going to start with a golf tournament.
Oh, we have a great golf tournament at Wildcat Golf Course right up
Right.
Alameda and Airport, not far from here.
Yeah.
Actually, I just left there to come here, but it's going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning, but we're going to register from 8 to 9:45.
Yeah.
10 o'clock shotgun. When they blow their whistle, everybody take off and go to their holes and play golf. Play for 4 hours. After that, we're going to have a lunch and a awards thing, have silent auction. We'll have jerseys, helmets, football, all kind of sports memorabilia, stuff that people get excited about. I laugh because we got these Heisman helmets, and I've already had a couple of guys say, man, can I give you $500-$600 for one of them helmets? And I'm like, no. We're
Instead of auctioning it.
We're going to put it in the auction. You can go bid on it. It's going to be in the auction, you know. But, yeah, that's going to be the golf tournament. It's going to be the first one. Wednesday, June the 2nd.
Right.
That's going to be a beautiful golf tournament. And all these guys, we got guys coming in town looking forward to it.
Right.
Warren Moon is coming. John Randall, Hall of Famer, is coming. Rod Woodson, Hall of Fame. We got so many big names coming. It's going to be like it's people coming out there just to say,
right.
that's my star. I saw him on TV for years. So that's the big thing about the golf tournament. It's something that golfers go crazy when you get that many big celebrities in one place. So that's going to be the first one. Then the second one is going to be the luncheon.
Yes.
That's going to be June the 3rd at the Omni Hotel in the Galleria.
We can look at it. We can look at
Okay,
it.
the Omni Hotel in the
Let's see.
Galleria.
What's the
That's
next
going to be the luncheon. Okay,
There it
and
is. Let's just hold there. Okay,
it
that's
right
the
there.
luncheon.
That's the luncheon.
It's going to be at
June
the
3rd.
Omni Hotel.
Omni Hotel, 12 noon.
12 noon.
I laughed because last year I did this luncheon for only 130 people. And I had about 8 to 10 business people came out there, was grabbing me like, Floyd, that was a life experience to listen to those guys tell their stories and how they
Yes.
came up. And like I just told my story today with you, but
Right.
it's to listen to those guys tell their stories, and people are amazed with how Johnny Rogers, the first Heisman Trophy winner for Nebraska, before Mike Rozier and Eric Crouch, he told a story, and we was like, what? He had a chicken, a big red rooster, used to chase him, and he used to be slow until that rooster started chasing him going up in the country, and he became fast behind that rooster chasing him. So it's stuff that you be like, what? That's, so to listen
It's
to
the
those
journey.
guys.
It's their journey.
Yeah,
It's their journey.
It's to hear those guys tell about how they came up and how they
Yeah.
make it. Mike Rozier gonna tell you his story. He said something that I was like, because a lot of
Y'all
people
have
don't
been
know.
friends.
Oh, we've been friends since 1985, but he started my career.
Right.
But Mike Rozier told a story of how he got shot. A lot of people don't know he got shot back in the day. Heisman Trophy winner got shot 4 times.
Yes.
But he laughed about it and tell the story. He ain't ashamed of it.
Right.
And it's stuff like that most people like. Because I did. I dropped when I heard him telling, I was like, he's telling. But that's the thing. They tell you stuff that they're not ashamed. They tell you the good and the bad. And you be sitting there like, and that's why I say how so many businessmen came up and was like, oh my God, Floyd, I'll never forget this lunch with these
Right.
guys because I heard them tell this story and something I've never seen in my life. I've just seen him on TV. I never knew that about him.
Right.
So that's the other thing.
So let's see the next one. There was a next one. There was another one right after that one. Okay, right after that.
Yeah,
that's the
luncheon.
luncheon. There you go. This is the golf tournament
the
we
golf
were talking
tournament.
about. We were talking about the golf tournament at the Wildcat. Yeah,
Man,
registration.
Look
and
at how
thing.
beautiful that flyer is. Look at all them players.
I love that. Now, who did that?
I hate to say this, but Smile Smith did that. Smile Smith, I tell you know what? This woman is so,
Talented.
She's so talented. I laugh because I got on her about that. I'm like, why are you doing a flyer? Let's get an artist to do it. She said, Floyd, I know the look I want.
Right.
She
Yeah.
said, I know the look I want. I wanted to have that professional look with these guys highlighted. And if you looked at that flyer, them guys was highlighted, all the players.
They were.
I said, girl, you something else.
Okay, we got the comedy night.
Now the comedy show.
Yes.
Oh, man. You know why we doing this
Now, let's
comedy
leave it right there. We're going to talk about the comedy
You know
show.
why we doing this comedy show? Because 2 of them comedians are my favorite comedians, and they my friends. One, he's the funniest guy I know. I love Warren Valerie.
Yes.
Terry Gross.
Yes.
Oh, that's my boy. Me and Terry Gross did a comedy show when the Rockets won the championship with Robert Ory. We did a Robert Ory tour at the Army base in San Antonio. Terry Gross had all the athletes falling out the chair and laughing, and they was like, man, we need to have him do another show. I'm like, no, this show is for the public. It ain't for y'all. We all together. All the athletes was happy with Terry Gross. So, you know, Terry would always do stuff and make us laugh. And I just laugh so them are two of my favorite comedians. And the funny part is they are my boys. I know them. So it's like to have them do it. Then you got Drew Frazier, you know, coming in. Then you got Dave Lawson coming in from New York. I mean, these guys are all great comedians.
Right.
And the thing that Terry and Warren said is back in the day, hotels used to do these big comedy shows.
Right.
Now you got to go to the Improv or these other places. Now we're bringing back what we used to do back in the day. It's going to be a comedy show, old school party.
Wow.
So the comedy show going to be at the hotel. We got VIP tables. We got regular seating. And you can go to the website and buy your tables. Actually, I had about 7 of my friends call me yesterday and say, I already got my tickets for the comedy show. I said, you got your tickets already? And I'm like, wow, I'm glad they didn't call and ask for the hookup because I don't have no tickets myself, even though I'm doing it. You know, so I laugh because comedy show going to be great. It's going to be something different. Then we're going to have an old school party.
Yes.
Now, I know me and you know about the old school party.
Yes.
5 minutes of funk. So we're going to have an old school party where I tell all the young people that's in their 20s, don't come to the old school party.
Don't come to it.
Don't come to it. It's going to be for us old, cause we're going to know everything that's being played.
Right.
It ain't going to be none of this young, say, none of that young rap. It's going to be all old school.
Right.
We're going to know everything that's played. And that's going to be after the comedy show. So it's going to be comedy show, old school party.
Cool.
And that's going to be something that, I'm like you said, me and you going to be in there having fun.
Yes. I'm coming to that. I'm coming to all of them, but I'll do that.
Okay. And then on Friday, we got something that y'all don't have a flyer for. We just set it up 2 days ago, but we're going to have a Heroes Brunch.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to go to this place called Pinstripes on Kirby. Pinstripes is a very nice place. It's got 2 levels. It's a bowling alley / restaurant. It's beautiful. But Pinstripes on Kirby is going to be the Heroes Brunch.
Right.
Well, you can come hang out with the players and eat lunch. And it's only going to be $10 to get in.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're going to hang out there Friday. And that's going to be before the comedy show. That's going to be Friday. So we're going to have fun with that. And, you know, it's going to be something for everybody.
It's going to be something for everybody.
You got all the money people that want to play golf, that know how to play golf. That's for the people that got money. Like, you know, that's the golfers. Then you got the luncheon that you can bring your kids in there, and that's not going to be high. It's going to be a nice price. I thought it was going to be high, but they knocked the price down. So that's going to be where the kids can come eat lunch with the guys, listen to their stories.
Yeah.
Then, like I say, that comedy show, it's going to be nice. We got a few VIP. I think we got probably about 4 VIP tables left.
Yeah.
So that's going to be nice.
You got to hold my table now.
Well, I know you told me you wanted a VIP table.
I'm telling you, I'm buying the table now.
I know you. And see, that's the part I love. Even though this is my man right here, he did not ask for the hookup. He said, Floy,
I said, I want my table.
I'm buying a table and I'm supporting you. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to support each other. Yeah. That's what we're supposed to do in life. Always support your friends.
Right.
And even people that's not your friend. Because that's how the world goes around. Because if I'm asking y'all to support me, I got to support you. Absolutely. I got to support this person.
Absolutely.
We got to support each other.
We got to support each other.
And that's what this is about.
We got to keep supporting each other. And let's roll those flyers again. We want to roll them real quick so people can see them. Okay. This is everything. That'll be everything. That's the list of everything. So that one, let's hold it right there, and we're just going to go down the list. We got the golf tournament, of course. Okay. We've got the luncheon, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. We've got the, you're going to have something else.
The Heroes Brunch.
The Heroes Brunch.
And Pinstripes.
The Pinstripes.
On Kirby.
Then we've got our comedy show.
Yeah, comedy show. Comedy show / old school party.
Okay, comedy show.
I don't want people to think it's going to be any young rap there. It's not going to be none of that.
Okay, y'all understand that. Not going to be young rap. Okay, I understand that. Okay, so keep running the flyers again. Those other. Okay, there you go. So we did that. Villarreal, you got the list of the comedy and everything. Go to the website, www. This is a website?
Yes.
HCLReach, REACH, foundation.com. Right there. It'll just say www in front of it. HCLReachFoundation.com. That's the topic. Our topic today is the foundation. How do we get us to say enough is for everyone?
Oh, man.
How do we do that?
But let me tell you why. And I tell people now, I'm going to go back to where we started this.
Yeah.
J.D. Mitchell Thank you, my man. I'm going to look in this camera. JD, thank you, sir, for helping me out. My friend, for helping me. Samara Smith, thank you for teaming up with me and helping me make this a great event. Because without your help and JD, I wouldn't be sitting here with my friend Cam.
Yeah.
Because that's what we say. That old saying, it takes a village.
It does.
It takes a team to win. A team. If we got a team, we can win.
Absolutely.
But if it's I, not going to win.
Let's leave a message to the viewers and how, again, we've got the information of getting in touch with the event. But if someone wants to get in touch with you, you know, your website or whatever, just look into the camera there and leave some last words.
Well, my main thing is always remember team. Like I say, my man J.D. Mitchell, thank you, my man, for helping us, for making this event happen. Thank you to my business partner, Samara Smith, that has the foundation that she does so much. And that's why actually last year we did this for Mike Roselle Cancer Foundation. And Mike heard about Samara Smith's foundation, and he told me, say, Floy, let's do this for her foundation, because her foundation is helping a lot of kids get scholarships and helping kids. And that's what this is about, helping kids, helping people in the community. You know, people don't understand the big picture. This isn't about us. Yes, we're going to have fun that weekend. Yes, we're going to have a good time with all the big-name players. You know, I'm definitely getting some stuff signed for a few friends of mine that want some autographed jerseys and different stuff. But the bigger picture is the foundation, that Heaven Bound Christian League Foundation. Go to that website. Purchase your tickets. Come out to the event. Meet some players. Like I tell people all the time, back in the day when I used to do them celebrity basketball games, tickets only $5. You get to see all these superstar players. Let me put it like this, you don't get a Warren Moon coming to Houston, Texas that much no more. You don't get a Rod Woodson, Hall of Famer, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Oakland Raiders, superstar coming to Houston to do stuff and meet people. It's a bunch of Pittsburgh Steelers fans out there in Houston. So call all your people in the fan club and get them out. It's so many other players here that, you know, Billy Sims, Oklahoma, star running back. Billy is the most nicest guy you're going to meet. Eric Crouch. All these guys are great. Two-time Heisman Trophy winner Archie Griffin. You got so many great guys going to be here that
Earl Campbell.
All these guys in one city at one time, you don't want to miss this.
That's it.
Thank you, Houston. Thanks, Cam.
You.
My man, Cam. Cam is my man, because Cam reached out to me a while back and said, Floyd, how can I help you?
Right.
How can I help make this bigger? It's a team thing. Like I say, a team.
Yeah.
Cam came and Cam I said, Cam, you on the team now.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to waive him. He can't quit. I ain't going to let him quit. My man.
Thank you so much for everything
welcome.
you do. Mr. Floy Johnson, 30 years. Thank you for everything you have given back to all of us.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you for the opportunity of your gift that you've shared it all these years with us. Because had it not been for you, many of the opportunities and experiences we would have gotten, children wouldn't have gotten, people wouldn't have gotten. We wouldn't have been able to afford it. We would have been 6 degrees away, like we used to say all the time. You're usually 6 degrees from celebrities, 6 degrees from, you made it happen to where we were right next to them. Yeah. Thank you for that opportunity.
Oh, no problem, man.
Thank you for everything.
I was one of those kids. I'm from Houston.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people all the time, that's why I love doing these events, because when I bring these guys in that y'all see on TV every day, every week, it's the opportunity to talk to them. Like me and you right here talking. You can talk to these players like that.
Absolutely.
But if you see them on TV all the time, you know, and I tell people all the time, when I was little, I didn't get to meet. You know what, I met my hero 3 years ago, and I was like a little kid. I froze up.
Yeah.
Old as I am, I froze up. I met Mean Joe Green, Pittsburgh Steelers. That was I used to see his commercial where he had the Coke and the jersey, and he threw the jersey to the kid. I met Mean Joe Green with Mike Rosier and Warren Moon at the NRG.
Right.
Just like this weekend we're doing, they're having the same thing, autograph show that weekend that we're doing this. After our event, it's going to be an autograph. So Mean Joe Green, about 6 feet away from me, said, young man, where the restroom at? I was like a little kid. I say, it's over there, too tall.
Absolutely.
Mike Rosier and Warren Moon dogged me out. He said, Floyd, you done worked with pro athletes for over 30-some years. You've been around us. How you call him? I say, man, I turned into a little kid for a second. Okay, I froze up. Okay, I'm human. I froze. That's Mean Joe Green.
Absolutely.
That was my. So I tell people all the time, I had a moment in my life where I met my star.
Yeah.
I met somebody that, and this was when I was grown. But that's my thing. I don't want people to go through life and not be able to say, man, I met I met Warren Moon, I met this guy, I met that guy. At our event, you can meet these guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, my friend, for everything.
Man.
Thanks, Houston. Thank you, all of our supporters. On the Cam Hill Show, 12:30, 1:30 Central Standard Time. See you then. Bye.